a lighting system over here because really it's I kind of don't know why it's so dark in this particular area. Don't know why because we got a huge light over top us, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I am working on a few things. First things first, my name is Kenneth Burrow. My company is Black Series Edition LLC with Crystal Edge gunmetal technology screens and coming soon our FLE VT technology. Oh man, there's just so much research I've been doing in the last couple of days on how to minimize my office space or making a portable office, one thing, investing in a tablet and going out and getting, working on changing my cell phone providers so everything can be linked together. So when I do this little adventure trip and near summer, because I have already we're going to be scheduling and reserving office building space, several different locations where we can actually set up our portable projection screen setups and record. So yes, you need permits, and yes, you do have to have a freaking license to do it. You need a license because when I was well, not City Hall, but I got to go in and out of City Hall because I need these permits just to be just about anywhere I want to be at. So yeah, guess what? That paperwork is required. I'm so glad I did that work already. I'm so glad I put that time in on that one. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be showing the screen in different locations because, again, doing the same. That's why when I was in the house, if you notice that I was always constantly changing my location. It wasn't the same room every single day, because environments change. The environment's going to change automatically. If you transfer from one room to another room, guess what? It changes constantly all the time. Where if you're doing something in the same and comfortable environment every single day, it's just every single day. That's what it is. It really shows no proof that that screen can actually alter and change and be able to produce in different environments and still maintain because every environment's going to be different. Ambient light may be different here, it'll be different here, it'll be different all over the place. And that's why I did that demonstration when I was over at that building where I was walking through the entire environment, posting images of our technology and videos of the screen being produced in different environments because each environment was different. I was walking this building, I said, wow, we can really get some good pictures out of this place and videos. So with that being said, this will give me the ability to build. I got this portable setup I'm putting up together where I can actually hook up my projector, hook up our screens. I'm gonna do a wallpaper screen, and they're easy to transport. And I'm going to be doing the fabric screens, the acoustic fabric screens, and I can set up anywhere I want, display the screen, and this is going to be fantastic for our business. Not only fantastic for our business, but it is going to be freaking amazing for us passing our business and brochures and stuff like that. So these black screens are going to be showing up all over Allentown. We're going to have a ball with this. Anyway, let's get to the topic here. So the topic here: does gray screens actually see contrast? Technically, no, they don't. They don't see contrast at all. Period. A gray screen is going to cost you more money. And the reason why it's going to cost you more money is because you're going to have to spend the money for a higher performance projector to fix the issue that the gray screen can't see. I have done so many demonstrations on gray versus black technology that it's not even funny. A lot of tests. I am when I we do the customer awareness page we're building on the Crystal Wade site that will educate customers on how to buy things and where to buy things, what screens we support and things we tested, stuff like that. You know, this is going to be a fantastic place for customers to go to get well educated on what they're buying and what they're getting. Again, gray screens, I said at a particular time and point, had the well at a particular time and point, the gray screen was versus the white screen. If you were around at that time, the majority of most people make gray screen paints weren't even thought of at that time, so you didn't know. But yeah, the whole purpose of a gray screen was to produce better contrast, better color, and to have a little bit of an advantage point in a lit environment than a white screen. That was the whole point. No one made a gray screen and said, "Oh, I'll make a gray screen for fantastic white levels." No one ever did that. Not ever. Not ever. If you're going against a white screen, and when people sit there and they have this conversation, they go, "These are people that are well educated." They will sit there and go, "Well, excuse me." Can you get that together, please? Oh, I'm sorry, cat behind me's having problems. He's been a bit of an issue the last couple of days. I don't know what's going on. Mating season or whatever's going on with him. But anyway, as I said before, the first screens that were out were white screens. White screens had been around literally around before the silent era. So a gray screen couldn't brag about its white levels when a white screen produces the highest white level out of every freaking screen. Which I find is hilarious because I had this conversation quite a few times in forum sites. And I go, no, 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 the whole purpose of a gray screen was its white levels. Yeah, if that was the case and you were versus in a white screen, and mind you, black and gunmetal screens didn't exist at the time, how are you winning this? Honestly, how are you actually winning this against a white screen? No, the whole purpose was contrast, color, and to be able to produce a better lit environment without washing out or fading. Literally, you can go to AVS forums. There's topics that go on that for days, and they will all tell you the exact same thing. Now, when gunmetal technology surfaced, the whole purpose of a gunmetal screen, again, not white levels, the whole purpose of gunmetal was to produce a much higher contrast level. I've never ever seen any of the forum sites where I go to where they'll say, yeah, I got a gunmetal because it produces higher white level. No one says that. No one at all. They talk about the screen's capability of producing a much more darker shade of gray, which is far more advanced than gray screen paints. It's just much more advanced screen. They have a reflective surface because the darker you go on the screen, that means something has to be. It's going to be a sacrifice field that's going to pop up. No one on the right mind on the planet, unless you got some crazy capabilities, is going to say, hey, we got 100% black and 100% white levels about a sacrifice field. You're going to have a sacrifice field. It's going to pop up. So they had the reflective surface, but also too, the reflective surface has also plagued the gunmetal screen because then they suffer from something called narrow viewing cone effect, which means you turn to the left or to the right, screen goes dark on you, where screen paints don't have that issue at all, period. They're not supposed to have that issue because they don't have the reflective surface. Excuse me for a minute. Today, it's not the day to get yourself in trouble. Now stay out of trouble and go sit down somewhere, please. That's the last time we get that joker catnip. I swear, yeah, catnip. He's been bonkers the last couple of days. I don't know if it's a mating season or basically it's the catnip they got him for Christmas, but never again with that stuff. Anyway, sorry about that. Taco's being a jerk today. So, with that being said, as I said before, the reflective surface is only needed upon when you see that on certified screens. That's why I found it quite fascinating when I was doing the side-by-side demonstration with the diamond technology that there's no narrow viewing cone popped up. This screen was clean all the way around. So again, getting back to the gray screen. What is the purpose of a gray screen now? Well, basically, the purpose of a gray screen is pretty much nothing at all, period. Gray screens do not generate the highest contrast level, which they used to before the gunmetal and black screens came into play. And they don't produce the highest white level because a white screen actually takes over that. And as you can see by our test under black technology, in order for a gray screen to have the ability to be able to pick up a beautiful color balance comes from a 100% black. For those of you who want to argue on that one, well, check out the OLED. OLED produces the highest contrast out of any TV I've ever seen. What did the gentleman who basically invented the OLED say? He said, in the black, you see true color. You literally have to have a 100% black screen. Now, for those of you who want to argue on this one, guess what? We got something called a Spartan launching pretty soon. And a Spartan is designed to do exactly what we've been talking about for years on why black technology is far more superior. Spartan's main goal is to take out screens, to show you why black technology, number one, is more superior, but also on top of that, it cuts down a lot of the nonsense that people are making false accusations about how their products are doing things that they can't do at all, period. Gray screens do not receive or understand any form of contrast whatsoever. They see darker shades of gray. That's what they pick up. So the darker your gray comes up on your screen, the better your contrast level. Now, what happens also, too, as you do this, your white level starts to dramatically drop. So how do you basically balance it just right so that your colors don't suffer in the process either? Well, they got to figure that one out for themselves because I couldn't help you on that one at all, period. I'm working in black technology now. We're on a whole different level now. But anyway, that's what you'll suffer from the door. So we're going to be posting pretty soon. We start working on the other site. I've done dozens and dozens and dozens of videos, pictures, and demonstrations. You can possibly name it. And for anybody who wants to challenge my credibility and gray screen paint, please don't do that. I had a company called Digital and Crystal Screen Paint. It spans back to many decades. And keep in mind, I've made just about every gray paint you could possibly think of on the face of the planet. Yep. So I was around with a lot of people who made gray screen paints. You didn't exist at all, period. At all. I can name some items that you probably couldn't even remember. Like, well, what the freak is that? Yeah, because you weren't around. You weren't around. If you were around, you would remember Mississippi Man. Mississippi Man was a big time. He might still be. I don't know. He might still be on AVS Farms, but he was an admin over there, and he talked quite a bit about great products at the time. And if you were around in that era, there were no gunmetals, there were no diamonds, or no Dark Star 9s, or none of that. 4K projectors and all that stuff. Everybody was just bleeding gray. That's it. Gray or white, one or the other. That's basically about it. So, what benefits can you get from a gray screen? Nothing at all. It served its purpose. That's it. The whole purpose of the screen was to produce better contrast and color. That's it. And give you a little bit of survival in well-lit environments. It can't see 100% contrast. Black screens hold that. It can't see 100% white levels. White screens hold that. And you need 100% 100% contrast to read color. So where does the screen stand at? Actually, nowhere at all, period. The only reason why the gray screen survived when the gunmetal screens started surfacing is because the gunmetals are extremely expensive screens. So if you can't afford a $3,000 or $5,000 100-inch screen, then that means you have to point in the direction, say we don't exist at all, period, you would have to point in the direction of a gray paint. This is where you would be at. And this would make you in the line of not quite a white screen, but you're a budget screen. That's what you become, a budget screen. Because if you can't afford that high-end gunmetal, guess where you're landing at? In that area over there. That's where you're going at. Or you want to dabble in the field of charcoal paints. The problem you have with that is with charcoal paints, again, this is a problem where the contrast levels are not 100% contrast, which you're not reading. And the other problem you have is the fact that your white levels drop dramatically. So that's poor all the way around. No contrast, no white levels. Poor. All right, so this is where our technology comes in. We develop a 100% black screen. Our screens have the ability to be able to read a 100% contrast level, whether if the screen is facing a gray screen or white screen. I've done this. This is actually one of the demonstrations I've done. Do projection screens really, actually do gray screens really actually see contrast levels? No, they do not. They can't read, they can't pick it up. Will this cost you more money? Yeah, gray screen and white screen will cost you more money when it comes to a projector. You know why? Because you had to spend the money for contrast. You had to go out and spend this money for this 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. I've seen 10 and 20 million JVC projectors. You'll have to spend the money to get some crazy inky black on your projector, thinking that this is going to give you contrast 100%. You can't pick it up. Even the projector won't see it at all, period. Can't read it. So that's not going to help. If you have to darken your environment to improve your contrast and color, you already failed from the door. Especially if you have an ambient light rejection screen, or so-called ambient light rejection screen, and you're in a dark environment trying to figure out how to get your contrast levels to pull, or ambient light controlled environment where you have to fake it, yeah, you're not seeing contrast or color at all, period. You should be able to read, if you're trying to pick up contrast, which is what you're trying to pick up right here, you should be able to pick up a 100% black level. To the life of me, I will never understand this on people who have gray and white screens. Why you come in forum sites and you sit there and have these discussions and debates about your screen picking up a contrast level. Are you colorblind? You do know the difference between gray and black. So how in the world are you claiming a gray screen to read black when you really are not seeing black at all, period? This is the same with delusional concept of when you see people with the pixel compressed projectors. We see them all the time in there, and they'll argue up and down with people who have native 4K that I'm actually seeing 4K. Like, oh no, the freak, you don't got enough pixels. to complete a 4K resolution picture. So how do you think you're picking up the same thing that I'm picking up at the end of the day? You know how you'll find out? Hook it up to a 4K receiver and see what happens. Get an audio 4K receiver and hook it up to your compressed 4K projector and see what happens. You'll find out. You'll get like a 1 second sound delay because they can't read it. It's like the equivalent of people who had 720p TVs and they were hooking them up to 7.1 digital surround sounds that had real, stereo, and they were having a sound delay pop off because again, you have to have that HD versus HD sound and so forth. But anyway, let's get back to this. So yeah, people will argue about this. One of the things you have to watch out is when you're watching people with gray screens and they'll sit there and say, oh, you're receiving a 100% contrast level look. Does it make a difference how dark it looks? They are not reading contrast. When we find out, turn your lights on. Contrast will absorb. Contrast screens can see with the lights on. Doesn't make a difference. You can be inside, outside, 1,000 lumens, pico projectors, ultra short. Doesn't make a difference. You're still going to read the 100% contrast level. If that screen turns gray, it ain't reading contrast. I love these demonstrations. Lights out. Lights out, you can't read. This is what you pick up. See this gray kind of washed out as you look to it? See how it's 100% solid black here? Even with the lights out, you still can't read contrast. Your projector can't see it, can't pick it up. I want to show you this this summer when we're bouncing around on site on all these different places. We're going to have a gray product right there. We're going to have a white product. Not only going to show you demonstrations, because I got an hour at some of these places, hour or two, but we're going to show you not only that these screens do not work in any environment that we'll walk into, but also too how the black contrast is going to benefit your home and your business. So we'll be at hotel setups, we'll be at restaurants, we'll be at all these different places we'll be renting out that we can go in for a couple of hours and set up shop in there and produce these images on our setups we're going to be designing. So you'll get a chance to see this in real environment settings, not no fake rehearse nonsense, because I can't stand at the end of the day where I see people do these fake rehearse projection display setups where they'll have this little bit of light in the environment. They'll boost up the screen, try to make it like it's a very well-lit environment by putting all these freaking Christmas tree lights, I call them Christmas tree lights, behind the back of a screen. They put high fluorescent white lights behind there. They put color lights behind there. They put the little stage lights underneath of it. They give it the illusion that that little bit of light is really affecting the screen. It ain't affecting jack. It's just giving it the illusion that there's light in the environment. Like when I watch sometimes with Elite screens, I'll look at their demonstrations and I'll notice that the condensed lighting is at least about a good maybe 3 feet away from the screen. It's way over here. But yet they'll point up at the ceiling like, look, there's light in the ceiling. That doesn't mean jack at the end of the day. That's not making contact with the screen. I've had your screens. I've stuck them near the light. So they do have some ambient light rejection technology. Yes, they do. Do they have the benefit of the black technology? No. Black technology basically produces a far more advanced ambient light rejection technology than a gray screen or gunmetal can ever pick up. Again, that's why we developed a Spartan. Because instead of just saying this, we're going to show you by going through every single screen that we can get our hands on, and you'll watch every single one of them have an issue picking up contrast, they'll have an issue picking up color, and they will not be to produce in the environments that will have the Spartan setting. This is nothing compared to what we have coming, of where that Spartan is going to be sitting at. This thing is going to be in an area literally so bright, it's going to be insane how much light that screen is going to be to absorb in. But those of you who claim to have ambient light rejection technology, you shouldn't have a problem in that environment at all, if you claim to have this technology. So, as you can see, gray screen is going to cost you more money. You're going to have to spend more money for a high-power projector to fix all the problems that the gray screen can't produce. Now, if I go to turn my lights on, guess what? Gray screen disappears. That means you can never use a gray screen on your ultra short though setup. I see this so many times, people with these TV set-top boxes. That's what the ultra short though was designed for. You know, that was designed to replace the TV. That ain't going to happen. Well, it'll happen with us, but it won't happen with anybody else because, again, you're going to have to react just like a TV. So a TV, you can come in, turn your lights on. You know, it's a TV. Turn your lights on, sit down, watch a game, movies, whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. And when you go to buy your TV, you'll never hear the salesman say, well, here's the thing, you're going to use this TV. You have to have it in an ambient light controlled environment because if light hits the screen, it'll cause the image to wash out or fade. So to better and maximize your viewing pleasure, it's best to use this in an ambient light controlled environment to enhance picture and contrast capabilities. And you would sit there and go, what kind of TV is this supposed to be at the end of the day? This is a joke. TV's not supposed to have that issue at all, period. All right, then. So, if you bought an ultra short to projector and you paid all this money for this machine, thinking that you're going to get the same experience as the TV, ain't going to happen at all, period. This is what I love about Optima and these companies who make these ultra short throw projectors. The projector does have the capability. The sad part about it is the screen doesn't. And that's the part you're going to need in order to see what the projector is doing. It's the main part. It's your projection screen. So, with a 2,000,001, people buy those and they say, okay, I'm going to be able to pick up this inky contrast, 100% black. You can't read it at all. You just spent all this money for a very expensive machine that you've literally got 50% of. That's all you got. If you're lucky, that's what you got. And you're still going to have to be in a somewhat dark environment in order to be able to use the projector. You think I'm joking? Do some more homework. Go on YouTube, look up the P2 projector, and watch everybody who has that projector and look at the environment they sit in. I've never seen one of them try to beat the promo. As a matter of fact, even the promo demonstration is fake. Yeah, it's fake. I'll show you that the Optima promo demonstration is a fake. All right, so I'm going to listen to some Christmas music. Let's go over to the P2 projector. I tell you that AI technology is really dangerous. And the reason why it's dangerous because you just sold fake images that don't even freaking exist. And now they're doing it with digital video now. I've seen some fake knockoff projectors on Amazon where completely they digitalized it in. And it looks amazing, but you get it home, it's going to look nothing like that at all, period. So, this is what I find disturbing. This is one of the things I noticed when I watched the demonstration on the Optima.
The projectors provide impressive image quality and sensitization.
Now, this is the funny thing about it. This is all digital. This is not the projector self-producing this. That's all digital. But they talk about how the projector produces an amazing image. This is the part I found out that looks so fake to me. I said they got it here. They should have it here. Oh, we got to slow that down a bit there. A lot of people didn't catch this. So, is this the image you're really getting from the Optima? No. And I'll show you why. I'm going to slow it down in slow motion. All right. All right. Now, tell me, what kind of projector has the ability without 3D glasses to allow images to shoot past the actual screen and make contact with the wall, unless you're basically overshooting the image? There you go. See it? How? So is this the real image that you're looking at, or is this basically digitalized? It's digital in. It's a digital image. How? How are you picking that up? How's that happening? So what are you really seeing? Yeah, there you go. So, the 2,000,001. Are you going to see a 100% contrast level with that? Nope, not even close. Not even close. I told you before, that's something that you're paying for. You pay for contrast. You're never going to use it. Ever. Not ever. Never going to use it. Literally, you paid for it because your gray screen can't read and can't pick up a contrast level, and that's why you bought it, because you thought the contrast level would fix it. What you're picking up is darker shades of gray. When you reach gunmetal stage, gunmetal has much more darker technology. When you hit that, you're going to notice that your contrast levels are going to improve greatly over the gray screen, because the gray screen can't read it that much, but the contrast and the gunmetals can pick it up better because it's a much more darker screen. But you're still not picking up a 100% black level. It's not possible. You're not picking it up. When you reach black technology, that option's turned off. What are you using it for? Screen generates an infinity contrast level higher than your 2,000,000 to 1. It literally has an infinity contrast level attached to it. So that's an option you're going to turn off. So you just literally paid for something, again, that you will never, ever use. Now, one of the theories too behind black technology screens, and I talked to a lot of people on this, even the one over in Ireland, had a conversation about why they don't use their black screen paints outside. It's because the whole theory that black screens do not generate high enough white levels because the screen is automatically dark. So they have to be using ambient light controlled or dark environments in order to generate higher white levels to do this. We kind of beat the crap out of that theory right there altogether on all the demonstrations we've done. It's the reason why we're painting in the ceilings and painting in the floors and had them outside and had them doing all kinds of crazy stuff with them to pretty much diminish the whole theory that black technology has to be used in dark environments. That's not true. Depends on how you design the screen. And the thing about it is the reason why you don't see under any other screens doing the demonstrations we do, because they stick to the traditions that this is how a black screen has to be. So we really don't have to push and work that hard because this is what it's supposed to be. So, if it can't produce in a well-lit environment, hey, people are expecting that anyway. So why work on that? You know what I mean? We don't have to. We just leave it the way it is and people accept it and buy it anyway. Not me. We don't do that at the end of the day. If I'm using my screen, I'm definitely not turning my living room into a cave at the end of the day. I want to be to use it in a fully lit environment without any problem. When I lived at the other house, I could literally walk down my street. Matter of fact, I would be in one room, have all the lights on, watching a movie, walk out of that room, go into the next room, again, changing environments, go into the next room, 135-inch was in one room, and I had another 150-inch to the wall in that room. All lights on, leave out of that room, go down the stairs, had a 129-inch custom built in the window, run all that light in the chandelier, walk into the next room, look down at the floor, watch fish being displayed across my floor, look up at the ceiling, see the entire galaxy display, look over to in front of the screen, either I had a 150-inch or a 235.1 sitting in its place, and then walk right outside onto the deck and look over and see a 150-inch screen on one side and a 126-inch on the other side. And then down below I had a 180-inch. To do that with no problem. So, again, with our black technology, it doesn't cost you a lot of money for a projector. In all my demonstrations, you don't see me spending $3,000, $4,000 for a machine. For what? It's not necessary. You're going to spend more money, again, with the gray screen and as your Optima ultra short throw and all that stuff, you will never, ever get the picture quality you claim you're getting. You can't see it at all, period. And we're going to demonstrate that this summer. Not only going to demonstrate it this summer, we're also going to demonstrate with the Phantom. No, sorry, Phantom. It's a Phantom. It's a Spartan Phantom technology. You'll get a chance to see us go near screens where screens will have an option of either backing down and not want to be near this thing because, again, it produces an infinity contrast level. And if you're claiming your screen produces an infinity contrast level, it's going to have an extremely difficult time trying to take the screen on. On top of that, it produces a tremendously high white level. As you've seen in our demonstrations, that if we take any black surface and we lay it across the screen or any of our technology, they don't read because they can't generate a high white level. I've even had a couple of we made our own black paints to put against our own screens, and we allowed other people to try to make black paints versus our product, and it just can't generate that high white level. They make the most costly and most interesting mistakes when they try to make black paint or black screens. They just really don't know what they're doing at all. They're so far off, it's not even funny. But it gives us an idea, the reason why we give people that ability, because we want to see exactly how much information and knowledge do they have in home theater setups. And we can clearly tell by the ingredients on the table it's going to fail. It can't do it. They don't understand it. They're too embedded with that gray paint at the end of the day. That's what it is. It clouds their judgment. But anyway, yeah, no, you can't see. You can look it up and Google it for yourself. Gray screens do not read contrast. They can't pick up color. And they're horrible at ambient light rejection technology. Absolutely horrible. They don't pick up at all, period. It's interesting. In this promo demonstration, this is all the light they have in the environment. Whose freaking apartment is this freaking dark at the end of the day? That is really dark for an apartment. But again, like I said, this is a whole scenery set up. This is a whole setup scenery to make the projector look good. But yeah, this is really bad. And on top of that, since it's digitized, anyway. But no, they don't read. Let me go real quick. Let me get this real quick. On Google. Let me see. Do gray screens see 100% contrast? Now, when people say, well, gray screens are often called high contrast screens. Yeah, we're about to change that theory quick and soon. Because they're supposed to be to boost contrast on digital projectors and viewing rooms that are not entirely dark. And yeah, they are dark compared to what our technology is designed to do. The gray screen can absorb ambient light that strikes it better than a white screen. As I told you, the whole theory of when they first started developing gray screens was for this purpose right here. And some people still live off of this. All right, to absorb ambient light that strikes it better than a white screen does. In so doing, the black levels on the screen is maintained. All right, so that's the theory that they go by. This is what makes it so fun at the end of the day. Because again, with our technology and gunmetal technology, this is something that, you can basically debunk. Let me see. Benefits of black screens versus gray screens. Let me get this thing here. We done studies on all of this. You'll see videos pop up all over the place. Let's see. The benefits of a black screen.
According to white screen, set the black screen to display after 15 to 30 seconds of inactivity on the computer so that the screen in your eyes may unwind. Additionally, the dark screen helps save energy by according to allblackscreen.com, making your screen
We don't need all that information, but I just asked for only. Thank you. Let me see. The benefits of a black projection screen. So, black projection screens have a significant advantage in contrast. Of course, it reads of infinity black level. They are designed to absorb light rather than reflect. Solid Weight 5, you don't know jack at the end of the day. Absorb. You don't want to reflect light. This is the last thing you want to do, because when you reflect light, it bounces all over the environment. If you've done enough testing, which you have not done enough testing in order to know exactly what you're talking about, it's one thing to say that you made a product. It's another thing to say that you have tested and designed products. Compare my testing compared to yours. I'm 10,000 in testing. So yeah, I know quite a bit. This is the reason why when we go on forum sites and we have these conversations, we can talk with the best of them, because I've been there and I've done this before many, many times. Even Diamond shows a demonstration of why their technology is better to be used, because when their screens come down over white screen, you will notice that the splash off from the reflection of the white screen that splashes all over the environment disappears. Yeah, this is why you don't use them in dedicated theater rooms. It's designed to absorb rather than reflect. And then reflect. It enhances the richness of blackness tones and improves overall contrast. The results is The result is more vivid images with color that pop. This is why I told you that black levels produce 100% color. Ideal for high definition and HDR content. That's the benefit. Why you think when you look at gunmetal technology, them screens get darker and darker and darker and darker and darker and darker and darker? Because even they know that at the end of the day, that the darker their screens get, the better the contrast. Better the contrast, color improves greatly. So you have a gray or white screen, your projector's not reading at 100% color, and you definitely can't pick up contrast at all, period. It is a more superior technology. Sooner or later, the gunmetals will reach a black screen. Eventually, one day, they'll reach one. Hopefully, we can speed up that process when we send them out a sample sheet of the TV technology that we're working on in 2024. They're all getting samples of that technology to give them an idea of why you may want to start speeding things up. Because if they do not have their technology all ready to go, hopefully by 2025, we'll be so far ahead when the new technology, the FLE, which makes the FLE more interesting than all the other technology, it absorbs sunlight. It's one of the most powerful right now. If you can pull in 100,000 lux on a screen, you have one of the most powerful screens on the planet. Because having the lights on and all that stuff, worrying about your screen washing out, that's gone. That's freaking gone now. That pretty much can do the same thing a TV can do now. So with that FLE technology, you're going to watch us walk into commercial environments that you usually can't run. A gray screen won't run in, but we can run it in there with no problem whatsoever. So again, you have to understand the future is black. I've been saying that for the longest time. People are like, oh no, it's not black. The future's not black. The future is gray. Are you kidding me? Where are you at? And what planet and what rock are you under right now? No, gray screens can't see contrast. Got a little test for y'all out there who have these gray screens out here. Do me a favor. I'll look for you tomorrow. Put on the star field. I'll put the link below. Get the star field. Lighten up that environment. I'm not talking about that ambient light control nonsense. I mean, light that environment up. Light that environment as if when you're off camera, or basically when you're home and you have it in a setting that your home is always in. Because we know your homes are not that dark at the end of the day. Y'all do that to accommodate the screen or the projector. That's what y'all do. If you had a TV in there, your environment would never be that dark. So lighten it up in there and see what happens. See if you can turn those lights on. Well, I was over at a sports bar, and we had some of the black technology on, some little sample when I go in these bars sometimes. And they were watching the game back there, and the screen was sitting all the way back in this little dark corner. They had the seats back there, and a little bit of lighting out in there to pepper out the environment so it wouldn't be completely dark in there. And I'm like, why is the screen back there sitting in all that dark? He said, because we turn the lights on, the screen's going to wash out. And they had a very expensive projector, really, really good one, because that's what they'll do. They'll go out and buy this really expensive, crazy projector to fix that mess, and then they'll turn around and still be in the same dark environment because the projector can't fix it. And they figure if we go with a high lumen projector, this would take the image. This is what fools a lot of people. The image will travel in this high lumen image. It'll travel across all this well-lit environment, and all this light would hit the image, and it would just reflect it because it has this high lumen attached to it. And then when it hits the screen, it's going to take that image with all this power, hit the screen, and produce this image right back at us. But it's not going to happen. What's going to happen is when it hits the screen, it's going to wash the screen out even faster. Like the promo demonstration with the church and the 7,000 lumen venue projector they had in the ceiling that connected with a white screen, and it washed out. You just introduced more light to your screen, and you washed it out 10 times faster. That's what you do. That's the only thing you do. You take a high-power venue projector, you hit a gray or white screen with that, and you have literally just washed your screen out. You've introduced more light to the screen. That doesn't help it. That washes it out even faster. What improves it is when you have to be in a dark environment. If you're in a dark environment with a venue, number one, you definitely got problems. You got some serious problems. So as I'm watching this demonstration, I'm looking at a screen back there. I said, turn your lights on. He turns all his lights on. The screen starts to slowly disappear. We take our surface and we stick it up there. And guess what? You can watch the game. There you go. Where are you guys located? Where can I reach you guys at? How much does it cost to get all this set up? To put our product onto that screen costs less than the projector he just spent all that money on, and all that money for this so-called screen is supposed to be an ambient light rejection screen. Yeah, it costs far less than that. Way less than that. And then we're showing them the projectors that we're using. Like I showed them, we're watching a football game outside at 250 inches. He's like, good gracious, that's insane. And I said, what kind of projector you got? What kind of projector? It's got to be, it's a 200, matter of fact, it's a projector right here I got right now. It's a $270 720p projector. I've seen the cheats on the 720p projectors. I've seen them. I'll explain that to you right now. So we'll see people try to compete with us and say, oh, I have a 720. You have a newer model 720p projector. Mine over here has BMCs in the back of it. It's a very old model. The technology for this thing has been way outdated. It's 2011 discontinued model. But anyway, yeah, a 720p projector to produce that beautiful image that we got outside. Beautiful color. 100% contrast, makes the TV look, makes this projection screen look like an OLED, a massive OLED. And you can have all the lights on. You can read the menu crystal clear. You don't have to have little lights all through the entire environment. And guess what? It can be a part of the rest of the bar. Light it up in there. I saw that when I was at Dave & Buster's. I sat there and watched the screen tucked away in the dark. I'm like, waste of money. Watched that when I walked into Target. They had a makeup display, and they had this 4K Panasonic projector in the ceiling, and the screen was just awful. If you're going to be showing off cosmetics and food and clothing and whatever, you want the color to pop. You don't want it to look faded and washed out. It kind of looks really disgusting. But anyway, yeah. I'm getting off topic here. I just go into this when we do all these talks. But yeah, gray screens, don't read. It's just simple test. Starfield demonstration, fully lit environment. That's all you have to do, see if you can register. Now, for the theory of people who've made claims that because they're afraid, we understand why you made these comments and claims, because you're afraid. You are obsoleting. You're slowly fading and disappearing. And you're scared. But breaking the law and getting yourself in trouble is not the answer at all. This is going to get you in a lot of trouble. So that whole theory that they came up with, that black screens come up so dark they're unwatchable, they're being challenged in court on this. Did you know that? There are several lawsuits that are launching against these individuals because accusations that they made, not only about my black technology, but black technology in general, does not work. And therefore, you're being challenged in a court of law, your companies and yourself, on these theories that these products actually do this, or our product does this. That's another thing, too. It's going to be interesting watching us win this court case very easily because, again, it would be virtually impossible for me to go on set and do those demonstrations if the screen didn't read. We literally had people walking back and forth going, wow, look at us, just like a TV. I had people coming up and walking up and leaning against the wall to see if they can still see the screen. Picks up just like a TV. Yeah, we literally have to go to court for that. We're suing people for a lot of stuff, for a lot of dumb things. But anyway, you'll see us when case is over. You know, we'll win our court cases with no problem whatsoever. They're just going to have to back up the theory that black screens don't register and don't read at all, period, and they come up too dark and unwatchable. Yeah, that was the case. That would be everybody we touch with that technology would have the exact same reaction, even places we worked off on site. And all the places we're going to be popping up in all around Allentown, showing off this technology, it wouldn't read at all, period. Oh, by the way, not carrying the venue on me, by the way. Venues are way too big, too heavy to carry around. I'm actually getting I guess a BenQ. That's what I'm picking up, a BenQ, an old BenQ. We're not buying anything brand new. I don't want to spend the money. All right, let me see. Let's go look at, let me see. Testing. I'm gonna go back to my channel. I have more tests there than most people don't do their tests, but we have a lot of tests on there. P2 projector, every environment. Let me show you something real quick. This is supposed to be a tri-laser projector at 3,000 lumens. It doesn't have to sit that close to the screen, which means you don't have the problem with the distance throw issue. The fact that you have to be in a dark environment, this is not a TV to me at the end of the day. This is a fail. Now, is there anything wrong with the projector? No, like I said, the projector works perfectly fine. It does. The problem is that the screen that the projector is being displayed on is not really showing the true performance of what the projector is designed to do. You're missing it by so much. It's not even funny. So here's one with a demonstration 2 years back. This is on a P2 projector. We are in, as you can see, a dark environment. You can literally see the light from the screen reflecting off the projector right here. That shows you how dark the environment is. I saw one person in here do this right. They actually turned the projector on in a fully lit environment to see if that 2:1 contrast was going to kick on his wall. Guess what? Didn't pick up at all, jack. So yeah, you got to be in the dark for this thing. Nice projector. Only problem is that, like I said, you'll never use it to its full potential. You'll never use any projector to its full potential until you have black technology. Now, I know I get people sitting there saying, oh, but you're just trying to sell your product and your product only. Yeah, it's business. Why not? But you have to back it up when you do it. You have to back this up. If you're going to say that you have the number one technology on the planet, well, I can't say planet yet. I'll just say, well, no. I'm probably going to say on the planet. I don't know. I'm curious about that. Are we willing to challenge the world? That'd be interesting. But anyway, in order to say that, you have to back that up. That's what the Spartan is designed to do. It's literally designed to seek, conquer, and destroy. That's what we developed it for. So if we're going to say that black technology rules and it's number one, you're going to watch the screen wipe out an entire the gunmetal community. You're gone. You're gone. There's no way in the world you're going to compete with the black screen. Your purpose is to be able to produce a contrast level, a darker contrast level. You can't beat an infinity black screen. Impossible. Gray screens, too easy. Too easy. We can literally wipe an entire product line of gray screens and wipe out all of Home Depot, Lowe's, and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Be done with that because, again, you can't compete with it. You pull higher white levels than our black technology? No, I don't think that's going to happen due to the fact that our screens can basically, we do our tests not against gray screens when it comes to white levels. We do them against actual white screens. We do this inside, outside, you name it. We do these demonstrations. So if we can generate a high enough white level where a white screen can't turn as dark, what do you think a gray screen will be to do? And a gray screen can't pull high white levels equal to a white screen. So not going to happen at all, period. No, this is going to be, hopefully we get all this done. Like how many screens we got to go through? Well, hopefully by summer, we'll have everybody taken care of and we'll have our demonstrations completed. I got to finish my arena today. I have to start building that. I don't know how big we want to build that thing, but we're going to have quite a few screens in there. So as we go through this, I'm looking at anyone. This would be us right here. That's why we explained to you why gray screens don't work. See? Is it gray screens or, oh yeah, why we don't support the knockoffs. Oh, that's a whole nother topic to itself. I'm not going to discuss that until later on. I got some knockoff projectors coming in, some really 50,000 lumen projectors coming through. As of course, with this one right here, dark environment, as always. I told you, light splash behind the back of the screen to give off the illusion that the area is well lit. That's an ultra short throw projector with an extremely short distance throw, and it's supposed to be used like a TV. If you have to turn out the lights to improve your color and picture, you've already failed your projector already. So what if you want to use it in a fully lit environment? What if you want to use it in a conference room? What if you want to use it in a restaurant, a sports bar? What if you want to use it in those environments like that? Do you have to turn your environment into a dark environment in order to use it? Then you failed already. Might as well get a TV in there. There's our demonstration shown right there. Let's see. In the dark again, as always. Anytime we see those Christmas tree lights or lights splash behind the bottom of the screen in the dark. Recorded that one upside down. Now, how come we don't see anyone showing off the projector and this light right here? We don't see this. See this right here? See what she's sitting there working out? All that light in the environment. How come we don't see any demonstrations on this projector actually doing this? I never see this. Every demonstration I've seen on this projector, dark environment, dark environment, dark environment. I've never seen a demonstration like that on this projector ever. P2, let me see. Let's put it on a ambient light screen. See if we can find something there. Perfect example. So, right here. Let me see. I'm going here. Let's bring another screen down. Oh, you've got to be freaking kidding me. No, you can't. This is one of the things that basically, sorry if I rant a little bit here. It's coming. It's definitely coming. You know what I'm looking at right now, right? We got a TV here. You got a screen here. See that little bit of light we have in the environment? That's not much light. That's nothing. I have to be in hotel rooms. So we're going to get luxury hotel rooms where there's tons of light in there. We can look just like this with our technology. This right here is a projector. There's a screen right here. Look at the difference. See how the image is going, not even there anymore? You can't use that. And see how he has the projection screen? Fantastic job, too, by the way. He put the screen all the way up, which is fantastic. Because usually when I watch these demonstrations, the screens are pushed all the way down, so that way they have less contact with the light over top. So this screen is actually a little higher than that one, which it should have been anyway. But if you notice that in this environment, he can't see the screen. The screen's going. It's not even there. Now she's got it overcast too. If It's matching down here too also. So let me see. Now we'll darken the environment. See? Image improved. You can't match that to a TV because TVs don't have this issue. TVs can actually generate in fully lit environments with no problem whatsoever. So the point of having an ultra short though on a screen that's gray or white is pointless because again, it can't read. You have to be in the dark to pick that up. This is why I tell you at the end of the day, the gray and white screen is an obsolete screen. Well, actually, not the white screen. White screen is not an obsolete, and I'll tell you why. If I'm painting over a screen, I come out cheaper if I buy a white screen. If I buy that screen gray, it's going to cost me some more money, a lot more money than the white screen is going to cost me. So I'm going to paint over a screen like an elite screen or one of the high-end screens or whatever, or even one of the cheaper screens. If it comes in gray, the color jumps a little bit because it's a little bit more darker. Or if you paint over a white screen, the white screen has value because, again, those are screens we paint over to convert over to black technology. I wouldn't dare paint over a gray screen because that would cost me more. You might as well go buy it in white. But yeah, your screens don't read. See how he's in the dark? See how the picture color has improved here? Let's look up gray screens, fully lit environments. So you can find a gray screen in a fully lit environment. Gray screen, gray ambient rejection, projector screen, projector screen. And I want a fully lit environment. Now, we know we're going to have people that are going to come up on this video and go, oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. Well, guess what? We'll just stick a Spartan on you. And we'll watch you talk a lot of trash and talk about how we don't know what we're talking about. And we'll watch the screen pop up at your front door. And I guarantee you 100% you will not come outside on that screen. I guarantee you that we're going to receive cancellations. We're going to watch shopping carts and websites shut down. That you're going to watch even with the certifieds. They ignore us sometimes. They don't want to send us out samples. They don't want us buying samples from them. You're going to watch all that go down. Because when you're faced against something, it's one thing if you're talking about it on a forum site, but when you actually have a screen designed for that purpose and you send that screen out to do its job, you'd be surprised how many people are not going to try to go against that screen. If you are a company and you go against that screen and you brag about it, it is not going to go well for you. That's why I said when we ever are blessed to get a chance to go to one of these expos, I would highly, strongly advise you, do not take your sample sheet and stick it against any of that black technology because your stuff will turn into a gray sheet of paper. Even if you have gunmetal, it might even turn white. This would cause you a lot of damage. But black technology is far more superior. Gray screens, you're wasting your money. I'm looking for gray, anything that'll match one of our customer demonstrations. We had Hector outside, outside with his projector. I want to see if we can find any gray screens matching that. So we got gray screens, fully lit environment. Let's see what we're getting here. We want to see a 100% contrast. Oh, that's us doing tests right there. That'd be us on ultra short throw at 3,000 to 1 contrast. What from it? And this would be us. $60 projector, window open. You can see nice white walls in there, plenty of light in the environment. We're showing a black level. This is a gray paint. You know who that is at the end of the day, sitting in there. I'm not gonna mention it, but you know who it is. Now, to the fellow who basically does the demonstrations constantly on a P2 in a dark environment, do you see the difference between the environment where my screen is sitting at right now? If you notice, there's no light splash behind the back of the screen. It's just a simple all-white room, got a window open next to it, and we have an ultra-short throw projector that costs $60 with a 3,000 to 1 contrast level. You should be able to read and register a 100% contrast level with no problem whatsoever. That projector cost me $60. Which reminds me, I got to order the lamp for that thing too because I need it. I have to do a forward display. Some places we're renting out, we got a couple of hours there because I just need to bounce from A to B to do our demonstrations all over the place. And one of the places I rented, I got for a month. So, excuse me, I need it for a month because I got to do a floor display in there on the floor. That's why. And I got people coming over to check it out. Colors. You can't read color. I've said this 1,000 times. Gray screens do not see color at all. Can't pick it up, can't read it. I don't care what projector you buy at the end of the day. Not going to work at all, period. See the environment we're sitting in compared to everybody else? Look at you over here. Look at you. No more catnip for you. No more. No more. No more. No more. No more. Completely bonkers.
Before doing anything else, I'm gonna get the van as level as I can. I haven't used these things in so long.
Oh, it's snowing outside too. I didn't realize that.
Alright. Before it might have been a little ambitious. I think this round is a little too soft. Never mind. This is just
That's why I watch a lot of demonstrations on standalones. Standalones, you really can't tell what you can't. It kind of hides it because again, you don't have a more superior screen sitting behind it. That's why. All right, let's look through this real quick. I just got to find something that matches that and well lit environment in there.
I think that's this. So we're gonna use that. And once it gets a little bit later tonight, the sun starts setting below the horizon over there. I'm gonna load up a few games of Xbox. So I don't think I'm gonna find
This is a dark environment. Screen's coming up gray. You know why the screen's coming up gray? Look at the border. See the border of the screen? See how the border of the screen is black? See how the screen is gray? This is what color a true black screen is supposed to be. That's not a black screen. So that means it can't produce the contrast level. You're not picking it up. Good, they got the short though in there too. That looked like somebody did a demonstration. Like, oh, I know who did that demonstration. Yeah. And then they got the light splashed at the bottom to give it off the illusion that the area is well lit.
I think so. Yeah. Obviously.
No distance throw right there, period. And then on top, like I said, screen's coming up gray. If you're going to show an OLED demonstration, your screen has to read a 100% black level. And that's not ambient light rejection. How come these lights aren't on? You got two lights up here. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to help customers know to watch these demonstrations and show which ones are fake. Did he have these lights on? Are the lights on at any time? Okay, he puts them on here, but he doesn't keep them on. How come he doesn't keep them on? They're off the entire time. What the freak? See, this is the stuff I see when that's me cracking up sometimes. Right here. Right here, these lights are not on. They're not on. Watch. See? But the lights are on at the bottom to give it that backlit, like it's really like a lot of light in there. They do this. I see this all the time. Whatchamacallit does this all the time in his videos. Jamie does it in his videos all the time. He has all these lights splashed around his screen and to give off the illusion that the area is well lit. I told you, it's a trick they use. These literally need to be on. These are two lights right here. So let me see right here. It's supposed to be an ambient light demonstration. Those lights need to be on. And he should have did this in the daytime hours so you can open up the curtain. You got to keep it real, people. The reason why, because, okay, say you see this demonstration at an expo, right? And then you go home and you open up your windows and turn your lights on. What's going to be the outcome of the screen? There you go. That's why you open up the windows. You have all the lights on. So when the customer gets it and they have the lights on and the windows open, you know, you can back that up 100%. And your projector is way too close. You should have it way back there. What if they're using a long throw projector? See, this is the reason why we do a lot of long throw demonstrations, because if you can hit a screen with a long throw demonstration, short throw is a cakewalk. Ultra short throw is even easier. But if you're dependent on this and this, and you haven't done a long throw in a fully lit environment, that screen could turn into anything at the end of the day. The fact it's not it's not pulling a 100% contrast level, because you can see right there. See how that screen is gray right here? This is supposed to be here. This is an OLED demonstration. That is never supposed to be gray like that. So that means if it's not reading the contrast, guess what? It's not seeing color. It doesn't have enough light in there. See, now look, watch this. Now we have the lights on.
Some of our tomatoes and shrimp peppers. And then now that we let that cook up a little bit, we take it inside, add some water, and then I'm just gonna add some.
We don't keep them on long.
Stock, and this is gonna be our stew. Once we're finished cooking this over the fire. I'm gonna let it sit here and stew for like 30-40 minutes. I'm gonna have some spinach to finish it off.
I just noticed that.
So we can get this loosely covered with some tin foil. I'm gonna let that cook for about 30 minutes. Might be a little less because this fire's kind of hot.
That's what I noticed. He walked in front of the screen. He's wearing a white shirt. The background of that that demonstration with the glass with the white background, his shirt would have produced higher than the screen. Literally. So when he walked across it, they actually changed it and went back to a black contrast level where his shirt, the screen was showing a vantage point over the shirt he's wearing. Yeah, I don't see that kind of stuff. I see that stuff all day long. I watch tons of demonstrations. Watch this. If he had walked across that screen with a white shirt on, his white levels might not be that high. So if you have a white demonstration, you're showing a snowstorm, you should be able to walk right in front of a screen with a white shirt on. It shouldn't show if your screen's not going to. It's going to show a difference where your screen's coming up too dark. That means they never tested a screen on a white level. I can tell flaws in screens right away just by looking at them. I studied tons of them. I studied so many certified. This is not even funny. He's wearing a white shirt. If he walked across that screen, you do it anytime, at any given time. I'm going to make sure 100%. There's some penguins on the screen that show some white levels. All right, let me see. If you're going to be in this field, you got to do all this research. This research is required, especially if you're going against high-end screens. Got to be able to have all this research done. I've done this, so that's why we know how to conquer high-end screens because we did the research. Yeah, he did it. He did it here. He walked in from the screen. No, a little bit there. And there. A little bit there and there. But I'm just looking at the overhead lights too. Overhead lights don't stay on long. Has them on there. This light should have never been. Then why are you turning the lights out? The light's white. I don't get that. Why are you turning the lights out? That doesn't make any sense. It's an AR screen. You're not supposed to have your freaking lights out. You're not supposed to have, anytime you do, oh my goodness, this is the reason why, we're jumping topics here, but this is another thing we got to discuss too. Ambient light rejection, real ambient light rejection environments. The problem you have here is those lights are not supposed to be off. Those lights are supposed to be on through the entire demonstration. And he should be doing this in the daytime hours where so light can push through that screen over there. Sometimes they do them at nighttime because they don't have to worry about the window light pushing through. So we did this whole demonstration from here on in with the lights off. And a short throw projector with very throw distance throw. Gee whiz Louise. Seriously, we're going to crush that with no problem. Which screen is that by any chance that we can get Spartan over there? All right. This is our demonstration again. We do more of these demonstrations than anybody else. Demonstrations showing you exactly why gray screens don't register and don't pick up. They don't read contrast and don't pick up color. See if we can find anybody else. Let me see. We got a gray screen here. Nice fully lit environment. Are we going to see the screen like this? Now, one of the things I notice when I watch gray screen demonstrations, a lot of color. Very rare that you would see a contrast level pop up because the contrast level will show extremely poor on a gray screen, especially when you have black in the environment. I love demonstrations where you can see some black in the environment so you can do a comparison to the screen. So let's see what we got going on here. This environment is not going to go dark on it, is it? This is where it was well lit. Don't tell me we're going dark on here, are we?
All right, so as you can tell, the fire is always.
All right, we got the overhead on. All right, nice bright overhead.
I did buy some s'mores. I got some.
Plenty of light.
Or peanut butter or something filled s'mores. And I'm really excited to try.
Screen's pulling gray. If you look at the black tile right there, see right there, see how it's black? And the menu's coming up gray. So again, that's not going to read a contrast level at all, period. And the color's not there either. If you can't read a 100% contrast, you can't read color. Lights went out. Lights went back on. Let's go play this real quick. And he's doing a little better. And the projector is, oof, they're knockoffs. That definitely wouldn't read on our stuff. We don't use them.
I love the East Coast, but there truly is nothing like the West Coast of America, right? Can't really squish this down because I guess the center of it is kind of hard, but got my good old Yosemite mug out here for my drinks. This is my favorite wintertime drink, and that is what I call a perfect campsite dessert. Oh, wow. Oh, it's so good. The stuff that was inside of it, I can only kind of describe as the peanut butter inside of a Reese's. That's exactly what this tastes like. This is so good. Wow. And this is perfect for me because I don't like chocolate, so typically when I eat s'mores, it's just marshmallows.
It's got the screen to show the difference between the contrast here and here, but he's still not picking up 100% black.
30 gallons of water to put that fire on. And also before I do anything,
And there's not enough testing. Where's the color patterns? Are you supposed to show color patterns? All this. This can be confusing. This is why we do solid colors, because this can be confusing right here. This is when you're blending colors together. You need to do solid blues, reds, greens, oranges. So you have no other color conflicting, so you can see what solid blues and greens and different colors are popping up. And mainly contrast, which I would have loved to see some kind of star field or something. Yeah, that's the best we can do. The black YouTube in the back. That's the best thing. So, no, it's not reading black.
and for those of you guys who are wondering how I stay,
So that means the color is washed out.
it's not on right now.
Let's see. That's black. That's gray. And as it can say, you're reading a 100% contrast. No, the freak you're not. You can't read it. You're not getting it. People sit there and say contrast is not important. Contrast is freaking everything. You have to have a 100% black on your screen. You have to. If you want 100% reds, you want 100% greens, you want yellows, you want all the colors to be 100%, then how come you don't want the black levels to be? That's the most important part right there. But he actually had more light than the most of them. I'll give him that much. See, this is how much light you literally have to have in an environment when you're showing up a screen. Your environment should look exactly like that. See the condensed lighting? See how it's not way over here coming down? See how it's making contact with the screen here and here? This is one of the best screens I've ever built. Actually, I built some other crazy ones, but this one was actually pretty interesting. So the condensed lighting is making contact with the screen. I couldn't mention this enough. Danny, when you do those demonstrations, when you look up and your screen's sitting under a lip. See the lip my screen's sitting in, but there's condensed lighting under the lip with the screen. And you'll have lights way over here, and you'll go, oh, point up at the ceiling. What do you point up at the ceiling for? Your screen is literally tucked away in a pocket. There's no light making contact with your screen at any given time. That's what, the 126 inch, I think it is.
Since it's a little bit higher, tilt it down and point it right at me while I'm playing. Also, it's the desk chair that I'm sitting in.
This is how much light you're supposed to have in your environment.
Can't move back too far. Unless I'm like almost directly sideways.
When people sit there and say fully lit environment, and I see a little bit of light here and a little bit of light over here, and all this is dark in the corners right here, that's not fully lit. You're in there, that's the dungeon master setup. Look at this in the basement.
So the amount of lag that I have in any given game.
Now you have to show that you can change your environments out. See, I can go to the basement. Basement has far more light. 2 miles of lights here and here. Screen picks up again.
It is decent enough and it is playable. And I don't plan on going pro anytime soon, so.
Orders, as always. That's what I'm expecting to see when I watch demonstrations of people showing off gray or white screens, and you say you're in a fully lit environment. That's the kind of environment you should be in. We get stacks of orders all the time because our products work. You watch the man just go down upstairs and show a demonstration that we haven't seen anyone on YouTube match yet, and then go downstairs in the basement where there's far more light and show another screen down there.
Morning. Slept pretty well last night, actually. Much better than I had the last 2 or 3 nights at truck stops next to the trucks working their engines.
Oh, man. I can't wait to launch the Spartan. Can't wait to launch that thing. We already got 2 dates already. We got one for the 3rd and one for the 8th. No, sorry, 4th and 8th. The screen's gonna go against. There we go. Remember I told you about the condensed lighting? Watch, here we go. I can't wait. I'm gonna educate people so much on basically what to look for in these demonstrations. Because we want to cut down on all that cheap nonsense. And anyone who has a gray screen, if you're out there ranting right now, probably on your channel ranting and carrying on, you can back it up. Spartan will be at your front door pretty soon on the 8th. One's going to be landing on the 4th. And we'll see if you can back your products up. If you can back your products up 100% and you're saying that gray screens read 100% contrast levels, or you're making a claim that your black screen reads a 100% contrast, well, that's what a Spartan's designed to do. Call your bluff. So it'll be there.
And it's not just because I stayed up late playing EVN, it's because my batteries haven't been charging that much. One, because I haven't been driving too far, and two, because it's been so.
Why are we in the dark with this? Test 2, 50% light. This is considered to be 50% light. That is not 50% light. That is too dark to be 50% light. Where are we at 100% light? What's 100%?
Hour and a half, 2 hours outside the city of Bar Harbor, which is the apex of our trip. And last night, we stayed here in this parking lot in this little town called Rockland. And I don't know why I came here.
Now I can see why he's doing the demonstration. He's showing the improvement of an ambient light. It's supposed to be ambient light versus white. But your environment is too dark for an ambient light screen. It's way too dark. That's still too dark for an ambient light screen. Regardless, this doesn't even have to be ambient light. You can take gray paint and stick it up there and it'll do a better job than a white screen. Anything's going to beat a white screen at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be, gray paint doesn't even have to be ambient light projections. The fact that this is actually a little darker, it's going to produce a better contrast. It's going to produce a little better color. White levels are going to favor here on this side. This is a white screen. But this is going to be able to absorb more light, where this is going to reflect more light. So this is going to wash out faster. So you could have did this with gray paint. You don't even need an ambient light. But the fact that if you got an ambient light screen, your environment should never be that dark. That is way too dark. Ugh. You got any other gray screens in here? In the dark, of course. This is supposed to be in the dark as well. This is in the dark. Dark environment. That's not even well lit. Let's keep going. Let me see. Elite screens.
Yeah, I came by yesterday. I had a chicken sandwich too. It's so good. You guys come up to Maine, check out Tucking Roll. They got good chicken sandwiches and good breakfast sandwiches. Is nice name? What's your name? Brian.
So this is what I'm talking about. See the condensed lighting here? And they'll have the condensed lighting right here. And then they'll have it right over here. This is not making contact with the screen. And it's a gray screen. It's not going to read a contrast level at all, period. So let's see what we got here. We've had the Cinema Gray 3D. I've had all of them. All right, let me see. We're going to have the same lighting in here. Let me see. Nope. And it's not reading the contrast level. You know why we know it's not reading the contrast? The cinema bars. Cinema bars are coming up gray. There we go. See the speakers? See the cinema bar? See the bottom area right here? The framer on the screen? This is supposed to be 100% black because the cinema bars always come up black. Cinema bars don't come up gray, they come up black. That's another reason why we can also out your screen. If you're showing a movie and it has cinema bars from the top to the bottom, they're coming up gray and they're not matching your speakers. That means the screen's not producing a 100% black level, which means also too you're not reading color. Have to come up black. Let me see what else we got here. No. Colors are washed out. See the bright blues are right here? Your blues are literally supposed to be that high. Oh, man.
Tostitos, cheesy and gelatin. You can drizzle it, pour it, or dive right in. This stuff is delicious. Tostitos. It's the good stuff.
Lowering bad cholesterol can be hard, even with a statin.
Just keep putting a whole freaking commercial in there. Now, a little example here. You see that right there? That's our technology. See my speakers, see the wall, all that is supposed to be black. It's supposed to look like a TV. See how when it comes on, that's how it looks. No washout, no fade, none of that. When I walk into those hotel rooms and we go into different expos and not expos, but different places we're going to be at to show up the screen, it's going to generate just like this. Go sit down. You're doing too much.
It evokes feelings of serenity and peace. But colors are not just limited to what we see in nature. They also permeate every aspect of our lives. Think about how certain colors can influence our mood.
Background is always supposed to remain black at all times. It should match everything in the environment that's black. White levels should be excellent. You should have a fantastic white level balance on a black technology.
Meanwhile, the deep richness of purple can instill a sense of regality and sophistication. In art and design, colors play a crucial role in conveying messages and eliciting responses from.
So if you're not reading 100% black, guess what? You can't. Your projector is useless. This is on a 720p projector. 270 bucks, 720p, so old it has BMCs, and we're not even running it through HDMI, it's running through a VGA adapter for the PS4. This is FLE technology. This is the one I actually painted to a cardboard box. This surface right here, one code application, is a dirty piece of wood that was sitting for 4 months behind the back of the garage. And we would convert it to this technology using a projector that costs, pretty much most people wouldn't go near and use it for a door. Most people would probably use it for a doorstop. It's an old projector.
Similarly, designers utilize colors to evoke specific reactions from consumers, whether it be through advertising or product packaging. Beyond their aesthetic appeal, colors also hold cultural significance. Different cultures attribute various meanings to specific colors based on their traditions and beliefs.
Yeah, outstanding the white levels are on FLE.
Red symbolizes good fortune and happiness, while in Western cultures it is often associated with passion and love.
Now, if we could do this with a projector behind me, this old, this make and model, imagine what this stuff would do to your 1080p and 4K projectors.
Moreover, colors have the power to unite people from diverse backgrounds.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to look like a TV. That's how it's supposed to look.
When we come together to celebrate events such as Holy or
You can't read 100% contrast. Your screen does not pick up. It does not register. It doesn't even exist. Now you see where my projector is sitting at right here. When we do these demonstrations at long throw, you don't even see the projector. You see only the tip of the projector. Projectors rarely sit here. All right, people, with that being said, there's your bit of a wake-up call right there. We're going to be doing a whole section education page set up on the Crystal Edge site. It's going to have a ton of our pictures and videos of our experience with gray screens and why they don't work. We're also going to be putting in some update videos because a lot of the sites I'll be going to do demonstrations all this summer. We'll be showing the difference of why gray and white screens do not work in any environment that we're going to be walking into. It's just pointless. The only reason why I think a white screen it still has value because again, it's a cheaper screen to paint over. There's no way in the world I'm going to pay an extra 50, 60, or 70 bucks because the screen's gray. I'm going to paint over it anyway. Might as well get a white screen. So white screens still have value, but the gray screen is an obsolete product. So like I said, we've showed you demonstrations on this. We've done, we've taken it off site and showed you demonstrations why they don't work, why they don't function whatsoever. And moreover, we're going to show you that people who basically talk about these products having these potential abilities, you'll watch them back down. Because when that Spartan comes to their front door and says, hey, look, we're going to buy your product, bring it over here and put it against this screen, I guarantee you, bar none, that majority of the ones we have over here will fail. They'll never pass the Spartan. It'll never happen. And the other half will basically cancel out. And that's my alarm going off. This is the reason why. When people say, why are you so early in the morning? We had to come here early anyway because, again, by the time I got done doing this right here, I got to now go edit the website. And I got to be out and about today. Woo! Hold on a minute. Mr. Talk a lot, sir, talk a lot. All quiet all day long, probably getting over the high of the freaking catnip. One of my sisters got Taco, big old catnip mouse. And he been hugging on that thing all yesterday, and now he's freaking loopity-loop. Thought he'd be asleep most of the time, but he's not. But other than that, yeah, your projector, you're not getting what you think you get out of your projector. You're nowhere near close. And from the demonstrations I've seen people already, from my research on YouTube, they're not picking up anything at all, period. You should never be in environments that dark. See that light we have in the environment? See that 100% contrast level? I love it when I had people say, oh, but he's using 4,000. That stuff doesn't work on y'all screens. We've tested that. That's why we had those projectors there. We tested those projectors on your screens and they don't pick up. 4,000, 5,000 doesn't register on your screen. 7,000 don't register. 1,000 lumens don't register. None of those projectors will register on your screen. 4,000, so all those machines will run. All those projectors we have in our collection will run. None of them will work on a gray and white screen. They can't see the color. Now, for those of you, I'm going to show you real quick how old my projector is. You see my machine right here? My machine has BMCs on the back of it. You know how old a projector has to be to have BMCs sitting on the back of it? These are my peripherals on the back of mine. As you can see, we're running through VGA. There's my adapter right there, VGA adapter. That's what we're running through. Now, HDMIs, we skipped all the HDMIs. They're right over there. We skipped every last one. We don't need them. Running simply through VGA. This is how old and beat up my projector is. People wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. They'll go out and spend all this money for an expensive projector to fix the gray and white screen. This is why they're advising you at one point. They were saying that, oh, don't use 720p's. You get poor quality if you use that. No, you get poor quality if you use that on a gray screen. Not on ours. We don't have that issue at all, period. This is the model number of my projector if you ever want to look it up. It's a Chrissy LW401. See how old it is? And let me show you right here. This right here is my image. I'm going to crush a gray and white screen any day of the week, even gunmetal. See how beautiful that image looks? You know why they'll sit there and say, oh, but the resolution is not that high. You have to have a high resolution when you're using gray and white screens because, again, there's no contrast on the screen. And guess what you're going to have to buy? Better resolution, better contrast. Yeah. And you're going to think if you buy higher lumens, this is going to fix the screen's washout issue. No, it's going to make it worse. Y'all don't read color like this. Y'all can't pick it up. You can't see it. That's why it's just pointless. It's pointless to go buy to buy a good projector, do the research, and then you turn around and you dumb the machine down by sticking it on a white and gray screen. You literally dumb your projector down. That's why I say you're not getting what you think you're getting at all. This is why our technology is the only and best technology. And you should be using our technology only when it comes to your business and when it comes to your home theater setup. And for those of you that don't believe in that, well, that's what the Spartan's designed to do. Because if their products were as good as they say they were, they should have no problem taking that screen on. Meanwhile, we'll be doing the Spartans doing this job. We'll be popping up in different areas when we're doing around the summer. Spartan should be completed by then. All our paperwork for our patents and copyrights and all that stuff should be done. And we'll be getting ready to launch the 2024 technology. That's when we're going to be doing around summertime. Right now, this is all paperwork time. This is nothing but paperwork. That's why the FLE, all the screens got pushed back, because we found out the timeline is going to take us to get all those documents back. And it's going to be quite a bit. So we have to make sure the stuff has trademarks sitting on it, has copyrights, it has patents. All that stuff has to be locked in. And once all that stuff locked in with the FOE, then we can basically start showing you and telling you exactly what it's actually called. An FLE-VIII is abbreviation code. It like like kind of like project whatever so and so and so, but that's not the name of it. It's the abbreviation of what we're calling the company. We can't even tell you what it is. That's how secret this whole thing is. Because this technology is going to usher in a whole different version of new technology we've been working on for quite some time, involving that screen, that technology that can absorb sunlight. And you see where my meters are sitting? Nowhere near the projector. They're sitting right on the floor. Meters are always supposed to be on the floor. If you take a meter and you hold it in your hand like this, and your lights are right there, guess what's closer to the lights? The meter, because the lights are right there. And that's where you're holding it. But when you drop it on the floor, the light has a farther distance to travel to make contact with the sensors. That's why it was a fail when I watched somebody take a meter and put it in their hand and hold it up like this. Can't do that, because your lights in the ceiling have a shorter distance to making contact with the meter. Meters are supposed to be on the floor. And they're not supposed to sit in front of your screen, because what's going to happen is they can take the projector and they can tilt it just a little bit so that light source can actually make contact with the sensors and cause the sensors to jump. Can't do that. They have to be laid away from the projector. Actually, they should be right next to the projector on the floor. That's where they're supposed to be at. So again, please stop doing that. All right, people. With that being said, hope you enjoyed. Look at the commercials on this thing. What was this one anyway? What was this screen paint? I probably don't even know. We did so many of them, we don't even know anymore. So your image is supposed to look. You shouldn't be able to tell the difference between 720p, 4K. It's one of the things I want to do when I get my showroom. I want to do a whole setup with 4K, 720p. The reason why we're doing that, because we're going to them all lined up, and we're going to hide the projectors so people can figure out which one's which. Because some people really think they know. They look at 4K. That's 4K. Like we did that demonstration. We had so many people were so wrong. Like, no, that's a 720p. That's a 4K. Now, in every setting we're going to be at when we're doing our demonstrations, we will be displaying star fields just about everywhere we go. So, we can show you why, you can't use gray and white screens. And on top of that, this is fantastic and educational for the conference rooms and offices and stuff we're going to be at when we set these screens up at. Because, again, it shows them at the end of the day that they bought all these white screens, and the white screens aren't jacked because they had to turn the lights out every time they want to do a business conference. Because, again, they can't see the screen because the lights are on in the office. Where this technology can generate in an office with no problem whatsoever. You never have to turn your lights out, and you can actually get those true black and true colors from your pie chart. It's going to look absolutely beautiful to make your presentation look incredible. I love when they sell you on the projector that does that. It's like, you get this projector and you use it in your office setting, it's going to be able to produce those beautiful colors. No, it won't. No, it won't. Because if you spent all this money for this projector to produce better color and better contrast and higher lumens, and you still have to turn out the light so you can see your pie chart, guess what? Yeah, your projector ain't working. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed. Got to go. Thank you all, and God bless. And I got some footwork to do. I got to be out today. I got to look at a couple of places today. We got a couple of actually I got a couple I was looking at photo studios to record because they got tons of light. I'm looking for areas that have tons and massive amount of lights. And I did find one office that's on a high rise, which I'm actually looking at that one. It's a little bit more, it's like $1,000 for us to rent that baby out, but it's definitely worth it because it's a high rise. I can literally put the screen up there and get the whole entire city skyline of freaking Allentown. When Allentown isn't much of a skyline, but you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it says a beautiful skyline. I think it is. But anyway, we can get that backdrop on there. And I want to do it while the sun's out. Do you have any idea how sick that's going to look for an FLE? Sun's pushing through the screen and all this light and that thing's still generating? Woo! Yeah, definitely got to get that one. All right, got to go, people. God bless. Woo.